a couple of changes have happened in the Income Tax Act from 1st of April 2025. And basically, the exemptions and the things that are applicable to the salaried class have already been discussed in the previous videos. Now, this particular video, we are going to specifically discuss things connected with partnership firms and LLPs. So, there are changes that have happened to partnership firms and limited liability partnerships, which we are going to discuss today. So, basically, we find that there are main two changes that have happened. One is the changes in the remuneration of the partnerships and LLPs, the benefits that the government is extending to them in terms of remuneration. And second important change is related to the TDS rule that where the partners are transferring money to their own accounts. So let's take the first one, change in remuneration. Now, if you're talking of change in remuneration, what is remuneration? First thing, it is the as good as the salary, the amount that the partners get from the organization. So from the partnership firm or from the LLP, if the partner is getting some amount of salary, some amount of remuneration, this is something where we are talking about the change. Now, if your allowability, when we talk about remuneration allowability, it means it acting as a tax deductible expenditure. So, if at all we are speaking of earlier days, that is till March 2025, what is the rule? The rule says that on the first 3 lakhs of your profit, or in case of losses, you have the maximum amount of remuneration allowable is 1,50,000. Or if you're talking of the 90% of profits, whatever is higher that you get in terms of the remuneration. So either it's 1,50,000 or it will be 90% of the profit, whichever is more. That was the rule earlier. Now, this is something which was the allowable remuneration when you're talking of tax computation. You could get whatever remuneration you want from the partnership firm. There is no restriction. But when you compute the tax on while filing your returns and on in the firm's profits, when we are talking about calculation of profits for the purpose of taxation, the remuneration that can be a deductible expenditure is to the extent of this. And what about the remaining profits? So till the profit of 3 lakhs, it was 90% or 1,50,000. But on the remainder profits above 3 lakhs, whatever the profits were going, it was the maximum of 60% of the profits. So this was the rule. Now, what is the change that has happened from 1st April 2025? First thing that you need to remember is the limit is now 6 lakhs instead of 3 lakhs. So first 6 lakhs of your profit, the computation is done in this manner. That is, it is either 3 lakh rupees or it is 90% of the profit, whichever is higher. So you get the benefit of extended remuneration if your profits are up to 6 lakhs. Then comes the remainder profits. Remainder profit, there is no change. You get still the 60% on remainder profits. So this is what is the change that has happened. It is in terms of basically the first 6 lakhs of profits where you can get an 3 lakhs of benefit instead of 1,50,000. Now comes the change in the TDS applicability. The TDS is something where it's tax deduction at source, and earlier partnership firms were having deduction to be made in terms of rent, in terms of any charges paid, in terms of professional fees, contractual charges, and so on. So TDS applicability was there in a number of areas. But in this particular, you can say from 1st April 2025, the introduction of Section 194T has happened, which is the payment to partners. So partners take a number of payments like bonus, commission, interest on capital, then remuneration and such others. So irrespective of the partnership's turnover, you will need to deduct the TDS in terms of payments to partners. Now, payment of 20,000 is the exemption. So if you pay less than or equal to 20,000 rupees in the entire year to a partner, it could be in the format of any payments, then this particular amount is exempted. There is no need to deduct TDS. But anything above that, you will have to deduct and make the payment of TDS of 10%. So what is the formality? First, you have to deduct the TDS from the payment. This TDS will be paid to the government through a challan. And once the challan is paid, then the next step will be filing of your ETDS returns on quarterly basis. So these formalities have to be now complied with. So what type of payments are applicable? If you see, these are the basic payments that normally a partner takes from the organization. It could be in the form of commission, it could be salary or remuneration, bonus, interest on capital loan. So till here, everything is coming in the ambit of this TDS applicability of 194T. But drawings, capital repayments are not applicable. So if you have a capital in your organization of 10 lakhs and out of this 10 lakh rupees, you withdraw 2 lakh rupees for your own personal purpose, not required to deduct TDS. So unless and until it is coming in the form of these four payments, commission, salary, bonus, interest on capital, you don't have to deduct the TDS. Now comes the non-compliance. If you don't comply with it, you will have a disallowance of 30% of the expenses. So whatever remuneration is paid, commission is paid. Earlier, it is like basically this amount is taken into consideration as an allowable expenditure while calculating your profits. But now this will not be taken as an allowable extent to the expense to the extent of 30% of it. Then interest will be charged at the rate of 1% if you haven't deducted TDS. Whatever payment is there on that 1% will be levied. If you have deducted the payment but not made the amount to the government, you have not paid it to the government, then 1.5% or per month actually will be levied in terms of interest. Penalty will be to the extent of 200 rupees per day if you have failed to comply with the ETDS filing. So ETDS return also needs to be filed on timely basis. If that is not done, then you will face the penalty of 200 rupees per day. So hopefully these changes that have happened in terms of LLPs and partnership firms, you will find it useful and you will have to comply with them from 1st April 2025. We will be sharing such videos ahead also in terms of different formalities, compliances, topics related to commerce, changes in economical issues and so on Commerce Gyan. So if you haven't yet subscribed to this journey of Commerce Gyan, do subscribe to it and share this video to as many people as possible where they find it useful. Thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next video of Commerce Gyan.